朋友们，川普又开始表演了。2026年3月21号，川普在赴海湖庄园前就伊朗的局势公开发声，国务卿卢比奥陪同出席。那么他的言论迅速引发了国际关注。他宣称了美国对伊朗军事上已经获胜了，伊朗已经被击败了，还称霍尔木兹海峡安保问题很简单，应该由盟友来承担，美国不再单独负责。同时还猛烈批评北约国家很怯懦，还点名批评了西班牙，态度强硬，但是却处处流露急于甩锅的心态。那这场看似意气风发的表态呢，更像是战场陷入僵局、内政外交承压之下的舆论自救，背后呢也藏着美军行动瓶颈、白宫权力博弈和美国战略目标不断后退的残酷现实。川普此刻正处于内外交困的尴尬境地，对于伊朗的军事打击以及陷入停滞、空袭难以彻底的破解海峡困局，也无法撼动伊朗核心防御体系。在此背景下，其下一步的军事动作呢已经逐渐清晰，动用海军陆战队执行登陆作战，极可能抢占哈尔科岛。该岛扼守伊朗石油出口的命脉，承载着伊朗近90%石油外运的通道。美国企图以夺岛要挟伊朗，换取霍尔木兹海峡恢复正常通航，用关键节点控制换取战略主动。然而呢，这一次关键力量并非就近部署，而是从日本冲绳调遣迪里波利号两栖攻击舰，以及几千名海军陆战队员。最新的动态显示其刚通过马六甲海峡抵达波斯湾仍需数日的窗口期。那这段时间差成为美军的致命短板，战场层面只能维持零星的轰炸和有限的打击，难有实质性突破。那么前线无计可施，国内的舆论施压，川普只能反复宣称赢麻了，用空洞的口号麻痹国内的民众。可是战场的僵局无法掩盖，舆论造势收效甚微，他如今只求撑过这一段力量的真空期，等待海军陆战队员到位之后发起决战。届时呢，霍尔木兹海峡将迎来关键的博弈，成败在此一举，地区局势也将迎来剧烈的震荡。白宫高层的动向呢，更暴露这一场战争的政治投机性。这一次陪同川普亮相的是卢比奥，此前频繁露面的万斯消失了。万斯呢很有心机他知道川普现在就是个搅屎棍，打伊朗这个事情最后一定满手沾大粪，臭不可闻。而他呢一心瞄准下届总统大选，绝不能让自己沾上一点臭味，所以现在拼命躲得远远的，不露面，不表态，不沾边。川普呢也是洞悉了他的心思双方呢有点疏远了。而反观卢比奥，同样基于下一届总统宝座，选择主动靠拢表忠心，和万斯形成截然相反的竞争路线。一个人抱着川普的大腿，借战争树立强硬形象；一个人远离战争泥潭，力求保全政治声誉。两种策略孰优孰劣，尚无定论。但足以说明对伊朗战争早已经超越国家安全范畴，沦为美国政坛权力博弈的筹码。更值得警惕的是美国战略目标的不断后退。战事初期，美国喊出了推翻伊朗政权的高调目标，气势汹汹。打着打着呢，核心诉求收缩为确保霍尔木兹海峡通畅，从终极目标退而求其次。这本身就是战略推进失败的明证，暴露美军计划执行能力大打折扣。倘若登陆哈尔科岛失利，美国战略目标恐怕会进一步的降低，甚至可能从确保海峡通畅退至默认伊朗控制海峡，仅要求不袭击美欧的商船，即便支付通行费也可能会接受。这种预判呢，并非危言耸听。川普素来擅长口头胜利，习惯半途而废，降低目标以迎合赢学叙事。只要能包装出胜利的假象， 战略妥协对他而言毫无心理负担。此外的美军战略也让人质疑这一次即将奔赴战场的海军陆战队长期驻扎东亚，日常训练多为表演式演练，缺乏实战的磨砺。没事呢，这些队员泡泡酒吧，干一下为非作歹的事情，偶尔练习登陆台湾岛交个差。如今突然被征召要上战场体验最真实的血肉横飞，玩真的了。与其说他们是精锐之师不如说是仓促上阵的救火队员。我可不相信这帮家伙能有什么好的表现，到时候被吓得尿裤子也一点都不稀奇。战场表现恐怕难以达到预期，甚至可能出现崩坏的局面。从口头宣称军事获胜到等待援军撑场面，从政坛高层避祸趋利到战略目标一退再退，川普的最新表态呢，不过是用强硬的措辞掩盖军事被动、政治分裂、战略失序的三重困境。霍尔木斯海峡的平静呢，遥遥无期，而美国用战争转嫁危机、用谎言包装失败的做法，最终呢，也只会让自身陷入更深泥潭，也给全球能源安全和地区稳定带来持续的威胁。
State, and
right,
therefore...
It does appear that he's going to be speaking. Nima, if you want to hold on for just a few moments.
He's doing a fantastic job, so we have Marco. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, I wanted to ask you, Iran executed 3 people this week.
Terrible.
You have vowed strong action in the past. What message would you send?
Well, we've been hitting them awfully hard. I mean, I don't know if you can possibly get hit harder, but these are thugs and animals and horrible people. But you can't hit anybody harder than we've hit them. But I'm not surprised. They executed 3 young people for protesting.
And do you plan to escort those ships through the Strait of Hormuz with or without allies?
We're doing very well there. We're doing very well overall. We don't use the Strait. The United States. We don't need it. Europe needs it. Korea, Japan, China, a lot of other people. So they'll have to get involved a little bit on that one.
Do you still want South Korea support the United States?
Now, what about it?
Do you still want South Korea support?
Well, I love South Korea. We have a great relationship with South Korea. We're helping South Korea a lot.
Mr. President, do you think Israel will be ready to end the war when you're ready?
I think so, yeah.
Mr. President,
the relationship's a very good one. I think so. We want more or less similar things. You know what we want? We want victory. Both of us, and that's what we've got.
Mr. President, how will the operation?
Well, I may have a plan or I may not, but how would I ever say that to a reporter? If I said that to a reporter, Marco would say, "Please, sir, let's bring you over to the helicopter immediately." Right? No, I can't tell you that. It's certainly a place that's people are talking about, but I can't say. Yeah.
Are you rolling out
How will the Operation
there,
Epic Fury affect talks with Russia on Ukraine?
What about it?
Are the talks on back burner right now because of
No, we're talking about it. I think it'll get done.
When do you expect the next round of talks to take place?
They take place almost every day. We're making a lot of progress.
Mr. President,
You said that the war was militarily won in Iran. What did you mean by that? You said the war was militarily won in Iran. What did you mean by that?
Oh, I think we've won. We've knocked out their Navy, their Air Force. We've knocked out their anti-aircraft. We've knocked out everything. We're roaming free. From a military standpoint, all they're doing is clogging up the strait. But from a military standpoint, they're finished.
So how much longer does the American people expect it to
You said opening the Strait of Hormuz is a simple military maneuver.
Very simple.
Yeah, but what did you mean by that?
It's a simple military maneuver. It's relatively safe, but you need a lot of help in the sense of you need ships, you need volume. And NATO could help us, but they so far haven't had the courage to do so. And others could help us, but, we don't use it. At a certain point, it'll open itself at a certain point. But we've defeated the enemy, and they are an enemy. They're a sick group of people. The leadership is gone. The Navy is gone. The Air Force is gone. The anti-aircraft equipment that they have, the radar they have, is all gone. Everything's gone. The strait itself, the actual strait, how are you? The strait itself is, we're doing a good job, but it would be nice if the countries, including China, if the countries that use it, China uses it 90% of their energy. Japan is 95% of the energy. It would be nice if those countries would get involved.
Job still safe at CNI?
What?
Job still safe at CNI? I thought you spoke to that Yahoo.
I thought she did a good job yesterday.
The American bases in Europe. Lindsey Graham has asked for you to reconsider the American bases in Spain, in Germany, after what they have done in the Strait of Hormuz. What's your take?
Well, it deserves. He's right about asking that, and I think NATO's gone down a long way because they haven't. I mean, they should be helping with the Strait. They get much of their energy from the Strait of Hormuz, and if Lindsey Graham said that, and don't forget, he was the big NATO guy for a while, and now he's not. And a lot of senators and congressmen, they're very upset with the fact that NATO has done nothing.
Pope Leo is calling for a ceasefire. Pope Leo is calling for a ceasefire in the Middle East and to reopen dialogue. What do you say to Pope?
Well, look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side. They don't have a Navy. They don't have an Air Force. They don't have any equipment. They don't have any spotters. They don't have anti-aircraft. They don't have radar. And their leaders have all been killed at every level. We're not looking to do that. Thank you. Thank you.
Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris.
Oh, he did?
Chuck Norris, 86 years old.
I thought he was a great guy. Wow.
Yeah, he died in a house where he was in the line. Corner third.
Yeah, he was Chuck Norris. He was a great guy. He was a really good, tough cookie. We didn't want to fight him. That's the fact. He was a tough, great guy, and he was a great supporter. Wow. That's too bad. Tell his family, highest respect. I don't know, I think that's great support. Because CNN came out with a poll today that I'm at 100%. And they said they've never seen a poll like that. The CNN poll said I'm at 100%, and they've never seen that before, which is an honor. I was impressed that CNN would do that. But as far as troops are concerned, I can't tell you what we're doing.
Mr. President, you took issue with Australia, Japan, and South Korea this week.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Very surprised about Australia and what? What would you like them to do?
Well, they should get involved, and I was a little bit surprised that they said no, because we always say yes to them.
What did Australia say no to? Australia say no to?
Very late response. Surprised. They were really pretty much our first ally, all over the world, first ally, and they didn't want us to use the island, the so-called island, which for some reason they gave up rights to it, and I was a little surprised at the UK, to be honest with you. They should have acted a lot faster. I have. They should have acted a lot faster. Let's go, baby.
Did you see that your former press secretary, Sarah Sanders, was asked to leave a restaurant by staff who felt threatened by her politics?
Well, her politics are right down the center. She's a good person, and that shouldn't have happened. Where did that take place? Here or in Arkansas?
In Arkansas.
Wow. In Arkansas. That's very surprising. I love Arkansas. I won that state by so much. I think that Sarah's going to be just fine. But it's too bad. She's a good woman, Sarah.
Price of oil is way up. Stock market is down.
Gonna go up. Gonna go down. No. We're not giving a nuclear weapon to terrorist thugs, and we're knocking the hell out of them. Their Navy's gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their leaders are gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone. Everything's gone. And no, I expected worse, actually. I thought that oil prices would go much higher when I did this. We just set every record in the book with Dow, with the S&P. Dow hit 50,000, S&P hit 8,000, 7,000 at levels, at speed like nobody's ever seen before. But I said, I have to go off from that path and I have to take a little journey. We have to get and he would agree, but he's not going to say it. And this is not St. Patrick's Day, by the way. What are you doing with that tie? But we had to go off on a circuitous path and take care of business, and we are in the process of doing it, and I'll tell you, I think we're weeks ahead of schedule. My Secretary of State is very happy. You have a question for Marco?
Yes, how soon President Trump said this week that we can take Cuba? How soon? What are you guys hearing from your Senate colleagues about the chances of the Save America Act?
Doing okay. Voter ID, you have to have citizenship to vote, and I'm hearing very good things. I mean, I was hearing negative things because the Democrats are all against voter ID. They're all against citizenship to vote. They like the transgender thing with utilization of your children. All of the things that we're talking about. We added to no men and women sports, right? You know that. We added that. And when you add them all up, whether you take 4 or 5, I think they're all 95 to 99%. I hear it's going, it should be an easy path, but we need Democrat votes. They don't want to approve voter ID because they cheat. They don't want to approve citizenship. In other words, we want to have citizenship in order to vote. You have to prove your citizenship. The Democrats don't want to do that. You know why? You know why? Because they want to cheat, Peter. Now, speaking of something that's more pleasant, see that? It's going to be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. Nothing like it. And they just started today one of the biggest pours of concrete that's ever been seen in Washington.
When they're doing the construction, does it ever wake you up?
It makes me happy. When I hear those pile drivers, my wife doesn't love it, but I love the sound. I love the sound of concrete. I love the sound of pile